Today's video is a quick little guide dedicated to performance within Escape from Tarkov, how to boost your performance and give yourself an overall increase when running your raids on a day-to-day basis. So FPS and stutters will be covered in this video. Now there are other videos out there on YouTube, so I recommend looking around as well, but I'm making this video because people on my Discord and messaging me on YouTube etc. have been asking me to make a video based on this. A few things to note before we get started: this game is still in development, so all these settings are subject to change if some optimization patches get implemented in the future. Right now this game isn't very optimized and uses about 3 to 4 gigs of VRAM on your graphics card at idle. So if you do have a lower tier graphics card or lower tier components, your mileage will vary. I'm going to start off talking about the settings you can change in game to improve your FPS, then I'm going to go on to more advanced techniques that you can make outside of game that will improve your FPS and overall performance. The first thing we're going to change is in the launcher of the game. You're going to go into the settings tab up the top of the launcher, then scroll down to where it says when I launch the game. This is to do with the launcher window, and you want to set the setting to exit the launcher completely. If this isn't set to exit the launcher completely, your launcher will still be running when the game launches. This is just an extra background process that is going to eat up your CPU's usage on your task manager, so you want to close it out completely so the game can run without an extra program being run in the background. And then you're going to want to boot up the game and change some of the in-game graphic settings. The first thing that you're going to want to do is make sure the tick box up the top of the graphics tab of VSync is turned off. The next thing that you're going to want to do is change your shadow quality to low. This will not only help improve your FPS, but it'll also improve being able to see people in shadows and dark places. You're going to want to change your overall visibility down to 1500. 3000 is going to render 3000 meters at once. That's going to hammer your graphics card usage. You're going to then want to turn SSAO off, contact SSAO off, and then SSR off as well. SSR is a big thing to turn off. It saves you about 10 FPS on average. Then you're going to want to turn on anti-scopic filtering per texture and have some sort of anti-aliasing for FXAA, because otherwise your screen will tear. Like I said, this game isn't very optimized and you need some sort of AA in this game. I'm going to turn my sharpness up to 1.1 just to give the game a bit of crispness. This does not affect your CPU or frame rate much. And then just leave your FPS limit in both game and lobby on max. And then finally turn your Z-blur, chroma aberrations and noise off on the 3 tick boxes down at the bottom. Click save, and that is the best settings I can get for improving FPS and reducing stutters. Obviously this game still will have stutters. That's server stutters. They do not fix until the servers get optimized more and throughout its game development. But if you want to stop now and don't want to muck around with any of the external properties and admin settings, then that is going to be your best bet to improve your FPS. The next 2 tips I'm going to show you are a bit more advanced, and it's going to help you a slight bit more. But we're going to have to do this outside of the game, so let's do that real quick. So you've closed down your game, you're on your desktop. The first thing you're going to want to do is click the start button and type in game mode, and then you'll see a little setting that comes up that's talking about choose your preferences for game mode. You click on that and you see a whole list of tabs down the side on your Windows settings. For Windows 10 they've included this weird Xbox One game mode piece of shit. Just make sure you go through all those tabs and turn everything off in there. It is pointless. It'll take up some of your usage on your computer, and you don't want your game to be recording in the background. This is what it's going to do to Escape from Tarkov. It's going to record the background, so you could just be like, hey, record that and get the last 30 seconds. It's good sometimes, but it hammers at your FPS, and this will save you quite a bit. And then the final thing that you are going to want to do is go to the file location in your file browser where the Escape from Tarkov exe is located. For me it's in this weird local disk D BSG launcher EFT type shit. Then what you're going to want to do is right click on the executable Escape from Tarkov. You're going to want to go to properties, and then you're going to want to go to the compatibility tab up the top. You're then going to want to click the button that says change high DPI settings, and then once inside there, tick the box that says override high DPI scaling behavior, and then on the drop down menu make sure that is set to application. It should be application by default, but just make sure it's set to application and not system. So they're the 2 extra bits. Hopefully that can give you a bit more FPS. It certainly improves my FPS. On all maps I'm getting above 60 FPS, and it averages around 80 to 85 on every single map, which is pretty good, including labs, which is a buggy mess right now. And my system isn't the best either. I've got a 1080 graphics card, but my CPU is a 6700K, so it's a few generations old, and it has been hammered by constant video editing, so it is struggling and it is about to fail. So for a half failing CPU and a relatively decent graphics card, this works great. And considering my motherboard's failing also and can only recognize single channel memory, I think 80 to 85 FPS on average is pretty darn good using these settings. If this does help you out, thank you ever so much for watching till the end. A like is always appreciated, subscribe for more Escape from Tarkov content, and like I say always, in the description there is a link to join my Discord where you can find people to play with and have a laugh and join my Twitch and all that sort of stuff. It's all down there, but I recommend looking around, finding other people's ways of doing things as well, because there is loads of different people doing these sorts of videos to help you guys out. So I recommend looking about and taking on board everyone's suggestions. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.